Good evening. Oh my god. I just got out of the gym. Whew. I just had a really intense, focused lower back day. And it's the first time I really started to like figure out where my limits are. As I did a set on the rack, and then I upped the weight after the first set. So I was pretty happy with where I upped it to. And until I get a spotter, I don't want to go crazy with deadlifts and all that stuff. But I did a whole range of various sorted exercises. But anyway, I may have made a video about this before, but I feel like repeating myself. Perhaps it might have been in the video and not like the title of the video or what the video was wholly about. But I remember, I think it was the Alchemist channel, Sarah Elklady. She was talking about something involving the concept of the quote "chosen one" unquote. And then I had responded in the comments section after hearing a little bit of it, agreeing with her, and I said, "Yeah, I think you're right. I'm gonna call myself the choosing one." So, that was both me being cute and being, for real, in a sense of profundity, right? What is the profound point of me turning a phrase from chosen to choosing? Haha, well, isn't it all about free will and agency, right? People are waiting to be chosen in life, right? They're waiting, they're all fools that haven't got to the hermit yet, and they're waiting for the Wheel of Fortune. That's kind of the idea in my head when somebody who hasn't gone into the loneliness for a while, right? And our experience of being the hermit can be quite literal, or it could just be your sense of social isolation, your irrelatability to the world around you, where you can't, there's no one for you to open up with and talk to, etc., right? And then that can also, if you're on the incel level, you just want to be chosen, to be able to be part of something that makes you feel like you have worth and value, and you'll get the approval of your peers whom you are establishing your entire fucking morality off of, and what your will is, right? And here you are sitting thinking you need permission to use your will, and thus you wait to be chosen by God, by your favorite political activist, by your gym teacher, and you're letting that be kind of like the focal point. And it's not very clear that you have the wisdom and wherewithal to do things as such, right? So to be a chosen one is to say, I've been selected to abandon my agency, but I will also bear all responsibility, right? Which, this is where you get your messianic complex. I am responsible for your salvation, right? And the terrible consequences of desiring to believe that Jesus Christ existed. There's terrible consequences to you desiring that out of your love for the character that you think you know in the Gospels. Terrible consequences for that. But, you know, you have to read the Greek, not the Aramaic, the Greek. And none of us know classical Greek, because it's not just Greek, it's classical Greek. See, I got this late. Alright. So the choosing one has agency, has initiative, has will. Right? But more so, because when I say the choosing one, I don't mean that, you know, because all of those things could happen as an impulse control problem. Like, thought comes into the head and you trust it. Like, without having vetted every idea that runs through your head. Right? This is why we meditate. We meditate to listen to the voices in our head, because you want to take some time to identify those voices. You want to know, it becomes, you get an easier distinction, right? If everybody who is starting to realize that, you know, sometimes an idea in your head don't sound right to the point where you really don't believe it's you, right? And maybe it's still technically, quote, you, but it's more of an egregore. And at the end of the day, you just need to listen, and you need to make the discrimination and the distinction of who and what your voices are, right? Because then, when a voice in your head that is not yours, that from time to time is going to be there, because it might be your egregore, or it might be one of the gods, or it might be just a unwanted spirit that you didn't realize was slipping past all of your defense mechanisms, you know, especially if you're a fucking shaman, you know, and your defense mechanisms. Nobody's perfect, mine sure aren't. I have my dreams and my moments. But at that point, your actions coming out of your thoughts are truly going to be of your determinative will. This is what it is to be the choosing one. Right? Because you alone choose for yourself. Much like Odin alone died for himself, to himself. You choose. Because Odin made a choice. Everybody made a choice. All the gods with their sacrifices made choices. Freyr made a choice to lay down his sword to get married. Every god has certain sacrifices. And so do we. And, of course, the gods are not personifications, and it's more than just a fairy tale that you almost have to rationalize like it's an ancestor, because they're such humanized stories for the sensibilities of not even the Christians, and you know, the sensibilities of the religiosity of paganism that came after the Bronze Age, after the Norse Bronze Age. So we make our choices. And it is assuming this authority this is what gives us, that's what gives us our agency here within the Maya, the miasm. As the simulation theorists call it, the Matrix. And depending on whose simulation theory you're listening to, it's a more apropos description than others. You know, it's will be quite something to see if we truly see machinery in the sky, if there's ever a glitch in the sky grid. You know? And then, if that ever happens, if we get like a Nuremberg, like worldwide, you know what I mean by Nuremberg. The 16, I think it was the 1600s. Or the holography of sky sim breaks down. So yeah, but before that time, this is an aspect of magic. This is such a primordial aspect of magic that it transcends left and right hand path. It's there for either one. You have to talk about your personal agency and your free will and all those things when you are doing your magic. Right? Now, of course, the bigger difference is that whether you're left-hand path or right-hand path, the traditional left and right-hand paths are all about various pacts with spirits, demons, angels, and other such interactions that manifest in the sentient plasma within the ether. Okay? We're talking about you as your divine source, power that emanates from the center of your toroidal field. The heart, it may not even be necessarily the heart, it might be the heart solar plexus, kind of like both of those energies kind of combined. You know, just because the solar plexus is what it is. Hey, what's up here now? So yeah, so this is this is absolutely basic stuff, right? So, you know, the people that want to be chosen ones, they want to have magic done upon them. A choosing one does magic. And a choosing one who is not practicing black magic is only doing things that affects them. And even that has to be within karmic limits. If you're absolutely alone in your life and you do magic to change your life, it probably works easier because there is no karmic conflict with family, friends, roommates, etc. But that is why you spend a good long time really thinking about what your magic is going to do, to what capacity, and how considerate is it of the free will of others. And unfortunately, like, I don't know if there's 100% rules on this, but I know because there's very few exceptions to the rules because of how overall in our society is there, when you think in the grand scheme of billions of people in the world, how much occurrences of someone's free will being really badly violated is in occurrence, right? So, and that's just with, unconscious sympathetic magic, right? Unconscious sympathetic magic is something we're all going to do that's going to have an effect on people, so on and so forth. And so a big part of assuring the success of your magical work is how little it involves another person. So, this is why it's, there's the wisdom from Thomas Sheridan's dissertations on curses, right? It's just like, you don't curse someone unless they've personally harmed you, and it means you had to have actually met the person, and that the incident happened in correspondence of that time that the meeting happened. Like this has to be like real and direct, right? That you witnessed or have absolute proof or a confession or whatever, right? And then a curse works because the law of Gebo can apply in practicality. They have wronged you. They have not done anything to correct the wrong. You have every right to feel threatened or insulted. You are dealing with a lot of struggle. You can put curse on that person at that point. Very few people have done so much, right? Like, I've gotten, and you have to know what is a curseable offense. If I just say mean words to you at a party or whatever, that's not like cursing someone, right? Now, if the mean words had a larger kind of consequence, and those mean words were wrapped up in a personal attack or something like that, then then your curse is going to work. But you just simply, being offended or something is not really a means for it. So you could try, you can take that risk, but if it backlashes, it's going to hurt you. And then you're going to have to, at that point, apologize to the person that you tried to curse before it kills you. If it's going to kill you. It could kill you. Especially if you ask for a particularly nasty thing to happen to somebody, right? Like all the people, this is just a public example of a thing, right? People that never met, Donald Trump, that were witches, went and they had a little, cute little coven that got all sorts of media attention, and they went and they performed a ridiculous, Wicca ritual to put a curse on the man, and, they did a whole thing with his picture on a doll or whatever, and all of those guys are not really, having a good time. Yeah, I can see the chat. I also can see that it is downpouring, and I am driving, and I am concentrating on my stream of consciousness. So, yeah, I can see the chat. Chicken Guy 368. Welcome to the stream. Now, are you going to troll me? It's all good. I'm home now, so I don't have to be careful anymore. Ooh, that's better. How am I and how is my day? Okay. My day's fine. I went to work today. That's what I did today. And then I did the gym. And I talked about what I did at the gym at the beginning of the stream. Thanks for asking. Now, other than that, if you want a real answer, you're gonna have to get to know me, and we're not gonna talk publicly about how my day actually was, because you don't really want to know about my day. I'm not the kind of guy who has an interesting day, unless I tell you that I had an interesting day. Otherwise, you don't really want to know about my day. You need to hear about it, and then I will make a post, and you'll be like, wow, that was an interesting thing that happened, Steve. Wow, I'm inspired knowing that kind can happen to a person in the world. There you go. I'm just here to check up on people. Oh, well, thank you very much. Are you going to bill me for this checkup? You didn't even check my heart. It's all good. It's all good. I look like Sami Zayn? Did Sami Zayn grow his hair out? Isn't Sami Zayn like the Bostonian hipster? It's that guy. He's the hipster. He comes out to like the ska music, right? Sami Zayn's very, very talented. I don't think I look like Sami Zayn. Look. You see this nose? That's a Triple H nose right there. That's a beak. That's quite the beak. I think, you know, I think I look like a short Triple H. That's what I think like. Okay, oh, Sami Zayn is not the, Oh, okay, that's not him then. I know Sami Zayn. I haven't fucking been on point with wrestling in fucking forever, dude. Forever. I just like, if I turn it on, I just look and I say like, why aren't I watching a podcast and growing my gnosis? Right? It's just like music. Like I do that with music. I do that with movies. If I'm gonna watch wrestling, I need to be encouraged by friends that are wrestling fans, because it's fun to watch wrestling with friends. I have a little bit more fun watching wrestling when I'm with friends. Especially because I do like to kind of talk about, like, how something turns out, and then I like to talk, like, you know, backroom bullshit. Like, oh man, what are they scripting with it? Like, come on, he could have done that cool somersault, they didn't let him do it, you know, all that thing, right? Because when you know how it's rigged, and you don't have to take it seriously, and you just appreciate the athletics, the performance, and the storytelling, you can have a different kind of fun. Wrestling, it has turned into a meta fiction that is incredibly fun to follow as a meta fiction, because all the wrestlers want to do is do the cool thing, and everybody's like, bro, we know this is fake, like a movie, but we're protecting the illusion while we're having fun. We can have the serious talk about what's going on behind the scenes later. Let's fucking enjoy this, because there's a necromancer on the stage, and look at him, he rose from the dead again. Isn't that amazing, right? That's everybody. It's just like, fuck you, the Undertaker's real. And then when the show's over, you're just like, wow, dude, I wonder how they pulled that off, right? It's just, right? Because we all know that that's just for fun, right? Okay, I'll have to go take a look at Sami Zayn pictures and Try to remind myself of him, because like I look like, in many ways I look like a whole assortment of different metalheads, and certain kinds of wrestlers have this look that I just really love and are into for myself, right? I don't be like, well, it's because, I mean, it is kind of because I'm a metalhead. But look, I don't know, man. I think this shapes up my face fucking nicely and everything else. I looked good with long hair when I was fucking, fat as fuck, and I still look fucking badass with long hair now that I'm somewhere in the shredded territory. How many subs you got? South of 200. You can go take a peek right now. If I take a peek, it screws up the stream feed, obviously. But anyway, I'm gonna get going because I am choosing to end this live stream so I can go have dinner. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one, and Chicken Guy, I sincerely hope, thank you. I sincerely hope that next time I see you, you'll be, like, engaged in what I'm talking about. Or at least you're having a cool conversation with everyone here. And don't ask me silly questions about how my day was. Like I'm your fucking husband or something. I'm not your husband. My wife can ask me how my day was just like that. Alright, I'll catch you guys later.